Imagine for a moment a young woman in college uses Instagram to talk to friends and follow students. Not a day goes by where she doesn't talk to her friends using Instagram, but one day a student decides to pull a prank on her by posting false information about something that she did not do at a party on Instagram. Many students who are on Instagram and use Instagram see the post and talk to fellow students, spreading rumors around the college. Soon the young woman begins to be treated differently by her fellow students and is even looked at differently by her friends, and yet she knows nothing as to why. The prankster continues to spread false information across the campus, saying that she is licentious or lustful and that she is easy with men and the like, thinking that it's only a joke and that no one would take it seriously. The young woman then begins to be vilified in her own college without knowing why. Eventually, she stops socializing with other students and her own friends and transfers colleges due to a prank that she did not know about. According to Experience Simmons, 98% of college students use social media on a daily basis, and sources such as NewsGuard say that in 2020 alone, 17% of the top 100 news sources were spreading generally unreliable information all over the internet. Today, I'll be talking about social media and disinformation and why it needs to be controlled and monitored in modern society. By the end of my speech, you will have a different outlook on the current trends of social media and will be able to understand and prevent the spread of disinformation and the further abuse of social media. Social media in my own life has been quite useful and has been very, very broad. Be it Instagram, Twitter, or even Snapchat, social media has impacted my life in many different ways, from college all the way to the personal life. Positive and negative aspects of social media include the ability to speak with people from across the world, to communicate with people from wherever in the country that you wish to speak with them in, as well as the ability to communicate to someone in a different language that they don't even know through translation. One negative aspect to talk about, however, is the abuse of social media to push forward certain mindsets or certain ideologies on other groups of people. How you use it every day is also key, with many people using it solely for entertainment, whereas others would use it solely for the purpose of business. It differs by each person. Now then, I will be explaining today 3 main points. Would social media improve through regulation? Would social media have its quality of life improve through this control? And the consequences of not choosing to regulate social media. Now that I've explained my main points, I would like to talk about my first point, social media regulations and monitoring. Social media regulations can always be improved, be it from the lowest level to the extremely high, from the lowest group of people to the top brass, due to the fact that many different groups of people utilize social media, from CEOs all the way down to just a regular consumer, such as a high schooler or middle schooler or even an elementary schooler. Social media could always improve. One such improvement is through the regulation of explicit content, so that people from kindergarten up to whatever age that a person would decide can make sure that they can protect themselves from content that they do not wish to see, be it gore and violence, or through other more licentious or vice-related content. Monitoring social media for cybercrimes and explicit content is a very key thing, due to the fact that there's an increasing number of cybercrimes occurring within the U.S. and in the world today. And fostering an open environment for all is also very key, so that we can bring more people in together in a very global, or at least very national minded society on the internet through social media. And now that you know about the possible improvements to social media through regulation and monitoring, I will now talk about my second point, improvements in quality of life due to these changes. 72% of the U.S. public uses social media, and limiting its use up to 30 minutes or less greatly improves the personal well-being of many of the Americans that use it. 71% of consumers who've had positive experiences with brands on social media recommend these brands to their friends and family. And 49% of consumers also depend on influencer recommended brands. Two-thirds of U.S. adults in 40 countries are internet users, of which 76% of them use social media in some form, making regulation and control necessary. Since you now know about the changes to the quality of life experience through regulated and controlled social media, here's my third point: the dangers of unregulated, unrestricted social media. Internet bullying and hate speech is all across the world, and is especially prevalent in the United States due to the fact that there's not that much regulation on the internet and many forms of social media today. Defamation against yourself, family, and friends has also occurred through the form of people lying, cheating, stealing, or utilizing any way, which or form to take information that you own and use it against you by saying something totally different and looking more positively in other people's light so they can look more reliable. Cyberstalking is also a major issue because of the fact that people will be able to monitor your location and even use Facebook to find where you are and know where you are, and may even seek to come find you in person rather than just on the internet. In conclusion, I request from everyone listening to think about how you use social media and for what purposes in order to better use social media to aid others instead of hurt them in this modern world. And if this is too much, simply treating others as you would like to be treated on the internet will lead to a better experience and further improvements in social media for future generations. Thank you.